businesses, obviously every business has their own kind of character, like everyone has their own personality. Some places, businesses where security and the business leadership, I mean, it's I hate that artificial separation. How, well, there's the business side and there's the security side. No, we're all part of the same company. We just have different roles there. For companies that maybe don't necessarily have that level of coordination, what are some tips you get for those security leaders to really get entrenched with the business, understand how they can make it part of it? It really should be a business discussion, not okay, security said we need to do this. Do we agree with them and kind of have a vote? It's security they throw a proposal over and the business votes. And that's not how it should be. I mean, how do you get that relationship?
It's funny you kind of mentioned that because, I actually wrote a book in 2007, right? So we're not talking, recent times. I mean, that was kind of a lifetime ago for a lot of folks. It was called The Pragmatic CSO. And it was really about how do you play the game internally to get security, higher visibility within the business, right? So it wasn't about being a security professional, right? It was being a healthcare professional that does security or a finance professional that does security. And it really is about this influence game, and influence is not done behind the console of a firewall, right? Or sitting in a SIM or generating compliance reports, right? Influence happens because you're building relationships with the influencers in the organization that are going to make a bunch of these decisions, right? So it really creates a new kind of senior security professional, and it's not new, right? I wrote about this stuff in 2007. It's just funny that it always comes, back around in some way, shape, or form. And that's really, again, I want to call them the salesperson, but they're selling a security agenda to the rest of the organization. I don't want to call them, an operational person, but they have to make sure that the right operational capabilities happen within a lot of these areas so that the information can be secure. I don't want to call them a compliance professional, but they do have to be able to substantiate the controls that are in place in all these different places where you don't have direct influence. So again, about persuasion, it's about building relationships, it's about getting a seat at the table, right? And that really, and again, a lot of the general methods that I, introduced with the book back in 2007 hold perfectly true today, because I'll tell you the little secret, Bill, it wasn't about security, right? It was about business. And that hasn't changed. You have to build relationships with people. You have to persuade them to think in a different way. And if anything, since 2007, we've been helped by the fact that we have APT, right? That happened in 2009, 2010, right? All these different kinds of high profile security things, right, have happened in the last 12, 13 years. So before it was challenging because it was like nobody gave a rat's ass about, what we were talking about. Now getting attention isn't the problem, right? Solving the problem consistently, effectively, that's much more the problem. So again, pick your poison. If you wanted to be anonymous, you much preferred 2007, right? If you want to actually solve and be expected to solve very difficult problems, 2021 is hopping for a lot of folks.
Remember, Mike, there are no problems, just opportunities. That's all.
A product manager who worked for me said that to me. So he was a military guy, and he's like, "Mike, this is a great opportunity." I'm like, "You're nuts, dude. This sucks." But that's why I stopped having real jobs, because I'd much rather again sit in my ivory tower and pontificate.
Hey, that's good. It's a good gig if you can get it, Mike.
It is a good gig.
Thanks for joining us. Mike's next discussion will be on how to simplify your security stack. Look for it on the DG videos page.